Hi everyone, Eric Nelson here once again, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. For today, I am back with another book review on Paul Proffet's CrossBack. Now, this is a sequel to his previous novel, which is called Crossover. Now, I reviewed this book on my YouTube channel. Probably, I'm sorry, I forgot to see the exact date that I had reviewed it, but it should be around the spring session of this year. So if you want to review, if you want to see that review, by all means, you are of course more than welcome to. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'd say you would only if you read Crossover before you read Crossback, you would probably or I should say if you never read Crossover and you read this one first, I would say that only like 5% of Crossback, you wouldn't understand. Only because this book is wonderful on its own, and really only the protagonists of the first book are here from the previous one, Crossover. So in that case, in this one, the protagonists, which are Len Doyle and Briar, have returned in order to find a serial murderer who only murders young children. And but not only is he, she, or it, I should say, a murderer, this person may be possibly an evil god. And as they search for the murderer, they also meet up with other people, which are called who are called Hika and Conrad, and they help and they aid in their search of him. But maybe one or both of them might have a dark side, and or they might have a personal connection with the serial murderer. But will that only provide a small bump in the road in order to search for the murderer, or will it provide such horrific chaos where almost everyone dies? Well, here's where I leave off so that you guys can read the book for yourself. Now, as he wrote in his previous book, he was able to, or should I say, Paul Proffet. I'm sorry, I didn't, I didn't mean to leave out his name, but he really does have a unique way of combining thriller and horror scenes to gather. And I know that may sound like a real easy way of writing because both the genres are very similar, but if you really look at it closely, they are actually very different, because thriller is more realistic horror and horror is more fantasy horror. So as you read this, you will see a lot of those scenes combined. And I also like how this sequel isn't a direct sequel, but it also has the main, as I said before, the main the main protagonists from the first book, and they really haven't they really have had their same personalities from the first book. So it was sort of like having having these same protagonists, but in a complete different environment. But it was still a little similar to the first book. Well, maybe not, but it is, but basically it's different, but it's similar. So you can get this book anywhere, and I also hope that Paul Proffet is in the works of a third installment of the, as I would call it, the Cross series. So you can get this book anywhere, and I hope to see you all at the bookstore or the iBookstore.